So now we know why the inner critic exists and what it's trying to do, but it not necessarily helping you the way that it should do. Here's one exercise in which you can just get used to being aware of when your inner critic is coming up and showing up, at what situations it's making itself known, and using the NATS method just to be acknowledging that inner critic when it's there, because the inner critic gets louder the more that you ignore it. So what we're going to try to do here is really work with the inner critic, and we're using the NATS method. The NATS stands for name it, acknowledge it, thank it, and send it on its way. So name it. Your inner critic is not going anywhere. It is going to be staying within you, and it's there, as I said, designed to help you with a particular purpose of keeping you safe. What you need to do is be able to work with it and become friends with it in some way. So first thing to do, name it. Choose a name that you want to give to your inner critic so that you can work with it. It can be a human person name. For example, mine is called Martha. Don't ask me why. That was just the name that came to me when I was thinking about what my inner critic was called. You can choose a silly name, Mr. Squiggly Pants, or you can choose and refer to it as a particular shape or being, so the blob. Whatever it is, when you are sitting down to try and come up with a name, just think, what is my inner critic called? And whatever comes to you is the name for it. You don't have to tell anyone about it. Nobody has to know, okay? So it's just between you and your inner critic. So first off, name it. The second thing is to acknowledge it. It is there to try and help and protect you. It's like an alarm. If you don't turn it off, it's going to keep going off, keep making noise, keep getting louder as well. When you ignore people, they just seem to get louder as well. So acknowledge it. Show that it's been heard. Let it know that you're actually listening to it and paying attention to it, because that will really help you build that relationship with your inner critic. The third thing is to thank it. As I said, it's there to help you and it's there to support you. It's just going about it the wrong way. So thanking it and sort of appreciating what it's trying to do. And then finally to send it on its way. To tell that inner critic, actually, I've got this situation. I know what I'm doing and I know what you're trying to do, but I don't need you right now as well. So your conversation with yourself using the NATS method, name it, acknowledge it, thank it, send it on its way, is, hey Martha, I see you're here and I see you're trying to help me with this situation. Thank you, I really appreciate what you're trying to do, but I've got this, Martha, don't worry. You don't need to help me in this situation, okay? So that's just an example on name it, acknowledge it, thank it, send it on its way, of NATS method. And you start building that relationship with your inner critic. It is there to help and support you. It's going about it the wrong way, acknowledging it, working with it, building a relationship, a positive one, and rewiring your brain to better understand when that inner critic perhaps needs to show up versus when it doesn't and it's perhaps being more harmful to you. And going back to that example I gave before, it's about those bookmarks that your brain is storing, filing system of all these particular situations. What you're doing by building this relationship with your inner critic is you're changing the bookmarks that are being flagged there as dangerous or a threat to your survival, and working with it to create a more peaceful relationship that actually becomes more beneficial for you moving forward.